Hi guys, and welcome to Math Quiz Games developed in Python. I'm going to show you guys how this works. So let's enter our next question. This question is just for the fun of it. So whatever you enter in there, let's assume that it's going to tell you to enter an answer. But whatever you enter in there, this was a surprise question. Click on OK. Now, let's go for another one. So that is 10. Check that out. And that's how it works. So it can be, let's see if we're going to get another operator. Say 2 multiplied by 2. Therefore, check out the answer there. I'm going to just enter whatever in here and see. That's incorrect. The correct answer is 6. So that is how it works. And what you guys are looking here, these are just images. Okay, so I'm going to exit out and let's start a new project. But before then, I recommend you grab hold of your images. These are the images I intend to use. And each of the images are saved according to their number. This 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 9. Then I have all the operators in it. Okay, and each of them, the images are actually saved on the folder called images. All right, so let's minimize that and import the following. So I'm going to import the following library, import Tkinter. So let's start by importing the following libraries. Okay, I've imported Tkinter as TK. Import from the message box because I'm going to need the message box, random, and so on. So next, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a folder where all images are stored. So I'm going to call it image underscore folder. And that is going to be known as images. I'm going to put that in a quote. There we go. Okay, next. I'm going to create another method that will support the numbers and operators. So I'm going to call that number. Let's say numbers. That is going to be equals. Let's place that in an array string. And I'm going to say for I in a range of 10. There. Next is going to be the operator. So let's say operator. I'm just call it operators. That will be equals the following. So that will be for the plus sign, add a comma to it. Then I will have for subtract, another comma. Let's go for maybe multiplication, comma. Then I'm going to set it for division. Let's go for division. We close that off. Okay. Next, I'm going to now create a function to load all the images into memory. So I'm going to start by saying function. Let's define the load underscore images. Enter a column in there. And I'm going to say, what are you loading? That is going to be images. Is that there? And now that is going to be empty, and just enter the curly braces in there, and I'm going to use it for num in number, numbers, and icon, and let's locate the path for these images. That is going to be, let's say, the operator dot path dot join and the image folder, it's right there, comma, say format, entire curly braces there, say num png, and close that off. There. Notice the images are in number format. And the file extension for each image is a PNG, okay? So don't make that mistake. It's a PNG, look at it right there. So minimize that. Next, I'm going to use an if statement. So we say if the operator or s.path dot exit, say path dot resize, and I'm going to make that about 100 by 100. 100. All right. So close that. So that is for the image. So come right down here and just say the image number, get that indented, image will be equals image equals number of that very image is going to be equals image tk dot photo image. I'm just call it ng. And we're going to ask it to then return images. And that should take care of my images. Okay, next, let's create something for the game logic. But first of all, I'm going to create my class. Let's call it class math quiz. Yeah, that will do. And let's ask it to function initialize the following, and it underscore self comma root, and this very root is enter a column integers. That should be self.root. Let's create my self.root. That is going to be known as root equals root. And I also need the title. Let's say self.root. That's going to be dot title, and that's going to be, let's just call that math quiz game, something like that. Yeah, math quiz game. Let's see here. Yep, that's fine. And now let's take care of the geometry. So set dot root dot geometry. So we can make that something like 500 by 500. Geometry, that's going to be 500 by 500. There we go. And this goes off. Then by the color, config, and that's going to be BG color, background color. If you leave it, it will just give you a default color anyway. So color is going to be similar to this. Just call that F. Yeah, that will do. Now close that. Now let's take care of the images. Self dot image images, and that is going to be equals load underscore image. We're now calling this very function on there. Load underscore image. There. Then self dot num1, that is going to be nothing. And repeat the same thing for the second one. This should be uppercase. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And variable 2, I will create one for the operator. So I'm going to call that self.operator. This will be operator. There. Okay, so that's fine. Now we also need to then create the UI components for the interface and so on. So let's say, first of all, let's create a title here. Self.title, that will be whatever you want to call it. Right down here. Paste. So the title is going to be as follows. Self.title, that's going to be underscore label. That is going to be equals tk dot label, and this label is going to be a child of root, comma, text equals as follows. So I can just call that this. Okay, and I'm gonna close that off. Comma, there's the font that I intend to use. I'm going to make that about 23 or 22 area. So set it for area. 22. And then make that bold as well. Close that off. Comma. Then I'm going to say the back color, that is going to be the same thing here. Just grab all of this. Dump it right here. There we go. And let's run this up. Right down here, paste, and say dot pack, and let's get it padded for about 10. There. Okay, so that's fine. Before I go any further, I think I should save this. I don't want to do anything. So and save it right away. File, save as, okay, GUI underscore, then save that. Okay, saved. Okay, and let's run this up just to test if the title will be working as expected. So underneath here, I'm going to run it up. Okay. Yeah, so let's run it. Save and run. If it works correctly, I should be able to see the title. There we go. Look at that. All right, that's good. Next, I'm going to create a canvas. Yeah. So let's come in here. I'm going to say self.canvas. And that's where the images will be displayed. That will be equals tk.canvas. And that is going to be root. So let's say root. Now I'm going to have to add a size to it as well. So root, that's going to be equals 400, comma, height will be about 150. For this canvas, I'm going to say the back color, we can just make that all white. Put comma in there. So it's going to be all white. So change this one to F. All right. Now I'm going to take care of the highlight thickness for the edges. So let's say okay, light thickness. I'm gonna make that equals to comma and the background as well. Let's say highlight background. That will be black. Let's see if we can make more. Right underneath here, paste that there. And that will be background as equals. There we go. And I'm gonna run that up. So let's say canvas and I'll give it about 10 padding as well. Paste, and the padding is going to be 10. There we go. Right, I'm going to run it. But before then, look, there's no T here. That should have been highlight thickness. Take this off as well. Okay. Now let's save and run. I should be able to see a camera. There we go. That's my camera. So you can see that's the canvas. And that is the highlight thickness is 2 and the color of it is black. Okay, that's what I meant here. And if you want, if you change the color to whatever you see it, it will be, let's say it's red. I'll run it and see. See, it's gonna be red. There we go. All right, so let's just undo that and leave it as black. Next, I'm going to create an input. So I call that self.entry. And this entry is going to be equals tk, ck, or you don't come back here, tk.entry. Entry is going to be inside root. I'm going to grab hold of all of these. I need that anyway. Paste that in here. Get rid of this text. I don't need that. I'm going to change this one to about 16, the font. And let's get it justified. Don't want it to be bold. Comma. And justify its center. Justify. That's equals center. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to close that off. Copy and paste this right underneath here. And get it padded as well. That's fine. Right. So I'm going to save and run that. I just want to see how the text entry will look like. There we go. That's my text entry there. Okay, close that. Next, I'm going to create a button for it. So let's call that check a button. I'll copy this and just change things around. I'm down here. Paste. I'm going to change this around. So this is a button, okay? So don't do what I've done. Or if you do that, be careful. Button. And this is going to be button as well. Okay, here the entry is going to be button. Yeah. So it's going to be root and there should be a text on it. So I can just call that check answer, something like that. Grab all of this text and just change it around. Paste that in there. Check answer. And font, maybe about 14. Get rid of this for now. Okay, so that's for the button. So I'm going to run that just to make sure the button is there. Right, let's see. There we go. That's my button right there. Close that. Now let's add a label, another label. Grab all of this label and I'll change it around. Paste that in there. This label, let's call that results label. Results label. Results label. This is going to be result label as well. And result label, the text in it, because it's for results, there'll be nothing in it. Fonts, change that to about 14 as well. I don't want it to be bold. Get rid of that. Okay. What about the font color? Let's change it to this. So that's fine. Now the padding for it, let's make it about 5. There we go. If I run it, you won't see any of these anyway because it's just for result. Only when there's results, you see that. So run. Yeah, you can't see it. It's going to be underneath here. Okay, guys. Getting somewhere. And next, let's create another button. This button is going to be for next question. So paste that in there and just change that to next. Next button. Do the same thing here. Next button. And data I need to just call that next question. There we go. Font is 14 as well, so that's fine. Let's change this padding to about 5. And I'm going to run this. I'm in here. Brilliant. So everything is looking. Okay, guys, let's start work with the first question. But I'm going to start by first of all creating a function. And that function will just call that new underscore question. And that is a result there. That's my first question there. Then right underneath here, let's move this up. Right underneath here, I'm going to clear the camera. Let's empty it out, and I will also empty out the text entry variable of this. Right underneath here, paste. And I'm going to say dot delete, and I want you to delete all. Yeah, first one is taken care of. Let's take care of the entry, this one. Is that underneath here as well? And that is going to be the deletes. Let's say 0 all, comma, tk dot to the end. And next is the result label. This very one here. We want to play that as well. So I'll just configure that. This dot config and x8, that will be equals click there. So I've cleared out all of the components that I need. Now, what about the numbers? These guys here, let's grab hold of all of them. Put them right here. Now I want to assign some value to them. Now, for the first number, that is going, I want you to randomize the number selected. Remember, the numbers are in each. So we say random text choice, and that is going to be number. I repeat the same thing for the second one. There we go. Now the operator is going to be randomized as well. Operator, and that is going to be the operator. This guy right here. So selection of the operator will be random as well. Okay, that's good. Next, let's draw the images. Right on it. Let's say if first one self dot one in self dot images and set dot num2 and self dot images as well. Yes, this one will be num, the entire column there. Then we don't want the canvas to draw the images, so I'm going to say self dot rate dot rate on this image and give it 70 by 75, comma, image equals self dot images. Images self dot number one. Okay. So now I want Canva to also, I'm going to grab all of these again and just modify it. Canva dot creates this time around text, the text underscore text, and the size will be maybe 180 by 75, and we then say the text is going to be operator. Let's get rid of all of this text. Yeah, text will be operator. Yep. Okay. This text self dot operator. Comma. And the font, I can make that maybe about 40 or. All right, that's taken care of. Now the second image. So grab hold of all of these. Is that underneath here? This is for the second image. That's gonna be 370 by 75. The text on it is going to be, no, it's image, not text on it. It's going to be second image. There we go. That's good. Now, grab hold of all of these. The second one and paste it right underneath here. That's going to be text. Let's make that 370. Is that there? Text on it is going to be, okay, let's change that to equals. Right. And we'll fill back. I think that will do. Right. All right. So let's correct this. There's an error here. Let's copy this. Enter the font. Okay. So I'm going to try these out now. Let's run. All right. So far it's looking good. Next, I'm going to create a function that will check the answer. So let's just say function, and I'm going to call that check answer. Check underscore answer. And check answer will do the following. So let's come right down here and create a variable in there. Call that user underscore answer that is going to be equals dot get user's answer. If not user answer, that should be underscore. If not user answer, in that case, a message box should pop up. So let's see message box dot show money. And that is going to be, we can say, so please enter your answer. Come right here. There we go. All right, so the next one is going to be this. We now want the first number, enter the operator, and the second number. Then using try, work out the answer, else there's going to be none. And if that is correct, this message will pop up. Else, this message will pop up. That's it, all done. But we don't need to call these functions on the buttons. So to call the first function, that's going to be the check answer. I'm going to grab hold of this check answer. Let's go to the button right up there. This very one here. Enter a comma there. And just say command. That's going to be equal self dot check answer. So that is that done. The next one is going to be, I might as well just copy this. It's going to be for the next button right here. Put a comma in there. And that is going to be new question. New question. Paste that in there. Okay, so I'm going to save it now. Run, save, and let's try that out. Okay, it's not working because I need to call. Yeah, I need to call this here. Okay, I need to call the new question. Copy that and just paste that right underneath here. That's where I'm going to call it. So I'll say self dot new question. There we go. So I should be able to call all of these, take it from there. So let's run it and see it run. Here we go, look at that. 6 minus 3. 3. Check answer. Look at that. I'm going to get it wrong. That's incorrect. Next question. That's 1 point something. 2. Okay. That's another 2 and so on. Else it will give me a wrong answer. I knew it. Oh, it's 25. Yeah. Look at that. This is 10. Next. That is 12. Check. Next. Okay, that's going to be 0 point whatever and so on. Wrong answer. So that is how you create your own math quiz game calculator or game. Math quiz game. So let me show you guys the lines of code again. Let's take it from the top. Right? I'm going to bring it down up to here. Yeah. And there. And that's it. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this brilliant tutorial. And you all have a nice day now. And please do subscribe to my channel. And you can also join to become a member of the channel. Bye for now. Okay, let's get it right. All right, enter the correct answer. Okay, check that out. So please do subscribe to my channel, guys. That would be very nice of you if you can do that for me. Bye.